Ahoy there folks, I'm Captain Benzie and welcome to another developer Q&A video for Eve Echoes. For those of you who know what a developer Q&A is and don't want to hear about how to win a month of Combo Omega, click ahead to the timestamps shown on screen now. For the rest of you, the Developer Q&A series is a series of videos that I put out every single week. Essentially, the developers take a series of questions, usually 4, posed by you, the community. They answer those questions and post the responses to the official Eve Echoes Facebook page, Twitter account, Discord, and in the game files as well, which you can access by going into your ship's AI and then clicking on Q&A. Now this gives a nice little bit of insight into the game, but sometimes the questions and answers can be a little bit vague. So, because I do this every single week, I feel that I can add a bit of insight thanks to my time spent with the developers, with the other developer Q&A videos, with Reddit AMAs, Discord AMAs, the roundtables, all that kind of thing, and I can give some insight into what this all actually means and how it could affect the game. Now, in regards to Combo Omega, if you want to win a month of Combo Omega, all you need to do is comment on my Eve Echoes videos and come and be active in the Catskull Discord, which is linked in the description down below. I give away 3 Combo Omegas every single week, and those are how you win them. If you're after a basic Omega and you want to ask the developers a question regarding the Dev Q&A, well, you can also do that while you're in the description of this video as well. There is a link there that will take you through to a Google document. You can ask your question. If yours is one chosen to be selected, you will win a month of basic Omega direct from the devs, along with the getting your question answered. Anyway, with all that said and done then, I think we should probably just jump straight on this one. I'm gonna try not to be too much of a ranty Benzie. There are some interesting questions, so let's get right to it for the developer Q&A of the 9th to 15th of August. The new Ego Traverse event is ace. Just one little improvement I could suggest on it. Would it be possible to remember the module layout at the bottom right of the screen? It causes real problems in battle when I need to rearrange my modules, regroup my weapons and get everything onto one page just because the game mode cannot remember how I've laid out the buttons. It did the same in DIR Reflection and it's doing it now in Ego Traverse. It'd be great if it just used the same layout that I have set when using the ship normally. And yeah, custom layouts I think is a big thing. A lot of people have been asking for this just generally for a while, but I think modes like Ego Traverse and DIR Reflection do actually really bring this to the forefront. And Tailless Fox, our resident PvP king, does seem to agree. It's a valuable suggestion, he says, and we're already planning to implement it in future modes as part of further optimization. Ego Traverse mode will also be updated with it. Thank you. Now that's really good news overall, and forgive my really croaky voice this morning, I'm not sure what's going on. That's really good news overall, just that they are planning to add this as an optimization overall. Because it shouldn't just be limited just to DIR Reflection or to Ego Traverse or to any mode. It should just be one of those baked-in things that you can set up a ship and then save that layout. And I think that's just a really cool idea that they're doing it. Now, I'm glad that people are enjoying Ego Traverse. My experiences with it have been less than stellar, unfortunately. On one hand, I do fly battle cruisers, so I was quite happy to see that battle cruisers were an inclusion here. Unfortunately, the 3 matches that I did with my Harbinger, I got absolutely wrecked really early on, and it was clear that the person on the other side was using implants, and just that massive advantage they had over me was insane. Ultimately, I'm not going to sit here and complain about the mode itself just because I don't have implants. You know my concerns when it comes to this kind of thing. What does get me is that I really wish that I could go in with, say, my worm. And yeah, okay, we can do the whole, like, the free fire, the friendly fire version of it. But it just really strikes me as weird that the competitive version of the mode is exclusive to battleships and battle cruisers. Now, I'm glad. I genuinely am glad that battle cruisers at least are being included, because it's just nice to see something that's not battleships. That's how low the bar is. I'm happy when it's available for something that's not a battleship. But I just don't get why cruisers, destroyers, and frigates were excluded from this, why you can't fight a one-on-one with rewards with those. It strikes me as weird and, again, annoyingly frustrating. So I have my issues with Ego Traverse, but ultimately I do think it's a good addition. I'm glad people are enjoying it. I'm really glad people are enjoying it. I've seen a lot of cool stuff going on in there. There's a lot to smooth out. Definitely a lot to smooth out, and I think this idea of optimizing the whole module and weapon grouping, I think that's brilliant, and I'm glad to see that they are acting on that. Let's move onwards. In chat, when someone pings a system, our only option at the moment is to set as destination. Could we add a show on map as well, please? I'm often busy doing other stuff with bookmarked destination already up, and that system ping might not be relevant. Adding the show option button allows me to better decide if I need to take action without losing my current destination. Cheers, H. And this is such a good suggestion. Like, we need more tools with the star map, genuinely. And that is such a good suggestion, that it's not just, oh, you ping and you're automatically routing to it. You should be able to show stuff on map. Before we look at Lance.'s answer here, I do also want to say that I think if you go into the star map at the moment and then you press more info, it comes up with not yet available or coming soon or something like that. And it has done since launch. So I'm kind of curious to see what that is, because it kind of shows the developer's concept of coming soon or not yet available. Anyway, let's have a look at Lance.'s response here. Thank you for your suggestion. We will add view in star map feature to bookmarks in the chat channel. At the same time, simulated navigation will be added to the star map to avoid interruption of the current navigation. That's cool. Ultimately, as I said, I think that we need more tools with the star map that actually would allow you to plot your own course. In EVE Online, you have waypoints, and again, I know people get their heckles up whenever I say in EVE Online, like, oh, Benzie, you just want this game to be EVE Online. No, I don't. I think Echoes and EVE Online should be two separate entities, but I do look at EVE Online, at some of the tools they have, and think that would really work here. I look at some of their gameplay features and say that would really work here. I'm not trying to make the two games the same. I play EVE Online. If I want to play EVE Online, I'll play bloody EVE Online, you know? What I'm trying to say is, when there's a hole in EVE Echoes, we can look at EVE Online for inspiration, and I think this is genuinely a situation where there's a hole. In EVE Online, you don't just set a destination, you can also add waypoints en route, which means if you want to go, say, from your home system to Jita, but you want to pick up some stuff from other systems on way, or there's other things you want to do, you can do so. And this would be so useful for those people who are running things like the various delivery encounter missions, because they can pick up a load of these and then just open the star map and work out the best route from A to B via C, D, E, F, G. And that would just be such a powerful tool, and I really hope that they add something like that. Simulated navigation sounds really cool. It reminds me, though, of the promise of us getting simulated fitting like we have in EVE Online, and that obviously has not yet arrived in EVE Echoes. We're still using excellent tools like Sweet. But I do hope, I'm glad to see some updates coming for navigation. Question number 3 then. Please make the friendly fire mode duels permanent. It's one of the best content you've added. And I'm going to disagree there. I think it's good. I don't think it's best. I think it's useful. It's definitely not the best. Some suggestions add the option the challenges can be sent through chat so anyone can accept it without having to send it one by one to each player, showing which ship tonnage is needed. Also add the option for other players to join as spectators while the battle's in progress. Okay, this is cool because, yeah, you could set up an actual arena with this. Like, you have the Abyssal Proving Grounds and things like that in EVE Online, and the Anger Games and stuff. This would be a cool little addition, genuinely. I'm not gonna disagree with that bit. I disagree that Friendly Fire is the best content they've added, but that's just a personal opinion, because I think it shouldn't have been Friendly Fire. I think it should have just been Ego Traverse with all modes available. A Friendly Fire option, yes, but we should have had Ego Traverse at all levels as well. Anyway, the current version of Friendly Fire mode, says Tailless Fox, needs to be modified with more environmental changes, after which it will become permanent gameplay for every Capsuleer. So huzzah there. That's a really cool thing to hear. Spectators are an excellent suggestion, but it's already in the plans for future modes with more participants, so it might work for this mode as well. So awesome. They're looking to add spectators on future modes, and like we talked about in question 1, they would then come back and add it to this as well. That's really cool. A share to chat option will also be implemented in more crowd battles. I just want to take a moment here as well and just point out the disparity between this week's Dev Q&A and last week's Dev Q&A. Tailless Fox is sitting here saying, this is a really cool idea, this is why we're already considering it, this is how it would work, and he's giving full-on freaking answers here. Unlike last week, where I can't remember who it was who was responding now, but it's just like, it's not on the plans, and that was kind of it. It was just those short-clipped answers. This is a Dev Q&A, how a Dev Q&A should be. They're actually giving detailed, informative answers. So Tailless Fox, if you're watching this, which I hope you are, you know, thank you. Just thank you so much for answering these in such an open, honest, transparent way that actually gives us an insight into the thought processes here. Spectators, I think, is brilliant. I think the challenges being a permanent mode is also brilliant. I think it's a way to test a fit for PvP. It's a way to just get, to have a bit of fun. Heck, even just to train up PvPers in a safe, in inverted commas, environment, I think would be, it's a really cool tool. If nothing else, it's a really cool tool that the community can also use to set up community tournaments and stuff like that without people being douchebags and just, jumping in and ruining it all, which would happen if you set it in open space. So I'm really excited about this. That's so cool. I don't PvP, but I love watching it, and I love getting to see people enjoy that, and that's awesome. I really think Eco Traverse should be made available to all ship tonnages as well, and fingers crossed they're going to do that. Who knows? Question number 4 then, the final one. Would you consider adding a trade channel? There's too many people spamming the help and local channel with trade. Also, maybe adding a corp recruitment channel would be helpful too. Hi there, World of Warcraft. How are you doing today? In World of Warcraft, yeah, you've got literally the beginners chat, you've got like recruitment chat, you've got trade chat, and there's so many different channels. And you know what? Even in those games, you still get people trying to spam trade in general, or in the beginner's help, or in corporation recruitment. You still get corporations recruiting in trade chat. Yeah, this kind of brings to mind the concept of highways, and we'll come back to that in just a moment. Traffic easing and widening highways. Anyway, let's look at what Kylum says. Kylum, I think it was Kylum who was answering questions last week. Anyway, adding the trade channel will not reduce trading infos and frauds. We're more inclined to capture layers reporting those behaviours, and then we'll take strict actions against them. The help channel is the place where corporations can post recruitment info. There's no plan to add other channels for the time being. In addition, capture layers can also create their own channel so they can manage the people who join and directly take actions against those who post trade info and fraud. And that's a good thing. Like, I'm a bit controversial here. In Void, I sometimes feel that our Alliance chat, at quieter times of day, our Alliance chat kind of devolves into trade, just people posting their different contracts, and I'm really against that. Whilst it does kind of create this nice, at least you're seeing blue text, it's just the same thing over and over again. I'd rather it be a conversation, and there's nothing worse than trying to hold a conversation and someone comes in going, oh, I want to sell my Macariel for this, here's the shared contract, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, okay. So setting up a trade channel, I think, is a great thing for alliances to do in that regard there. Ultimately, though, it's just my opinion. It's not a Void rule. No one's breaking that rule. You're allowed to do that in Void. So it's just a pet peeve of mine, Ultimately, the thing I was talking about, though, when it comes to highways here, is if you look at, and America's a good example for this, I'm not picking on America directly, please Americans don't get angry with me here, it's a thing world over, they've done it in the UK as well, heck, they even recently did it, I think it was in Prague, they massively opened some roads up. When you've got a lot of traffic, it can be a bit of a... It can be a common idea that, the easy way to solve traffic would just be to widen the roads, right? And there is a certain amount to that. Like, where I lived in the UK, there's one road between my hometown and the next nearest town across, and pretty much all the traffic has to go down there. It's a narrow country road that has one lane going each direction. If a car breaks down on there, or if a tractor is going up and down it, because, those are slow little things, it can absolutely cause mayhem on that road, because you've now suddenly got to stop and wait for all the traffic coming the other way before you can overtake, and it's just insane. It's insane. Making that a 2-lane road would really, really help. So 2 lanes going either way sort of thing. But it's not a necessity. And beyond that, once you get beyond sort of that 2 lanes, you start to get massively diminishing returns. Not only do you get diminishing returns, you actually get a really unusual effect. Now, forgive me, I watch a lot of city planning stuff on YouTube. Yeah, I know, I'm a super exciting person, right? And this gets talked about a lot in this kind of thing, that if you think that you've got a lot of traffic and you want to solve that traffic and you widen the road, all you're actually doing is enticing more people onto the roads. It's a short-term fix. We've seen this in places like Los Angeles. Look at Los Angeles. It's got highways that are 8 lanes each direction, and they are still absolutely gridlocked. You don't solve the problem of traffic by adding the option for more traffic, because that's what people do. You widen the road, and there's a brief period where everyone's like, oh, this is awesome, there's more lanes and I can move more freely, and then everyone else goes, oh, the traffic's been sorted, so I can take my car again, and suddenly there's more traffic on the roads, and it just gums up even more. more. The correct response to that is public transit. In this terms, I know I'm ranting on about city planning in an Eve Echoes video here where we're talking about adding trade channels, but it's the same kind of thing. If you add a trade channel, if you add a recruitment channel, you're still going to be getting people spamming in all of the others. You're still going to get corp recruitment in trade, you're still going to get trade in help, you're still going to get people asking for help in the corp recruitment channel. It's just how these things work. Like, try and run a Discord and set up a load of channels for different things, and you'll still find people jumping into different channels and asking questions that should be in a channel that you've already created for. I have this all the time, and again, it's not a huge problem for me. Once it starts becoming spam and fraud and trade and that, report it. Just report it. Stop sitting there and saying, you know, oh, they need to do something. No, we the player base need to do something. When the help channel is getting spammed up by people trading, report them. Report them, because that is not what that channel is for. It is not what it's there for, and the developers have said, here, report it, and we will take strict action against them. We will inform them that they are not supposed to be using the help chat for trade, and if they continue to do it, we'll ban them. It's that simple. Adding more channels doesn't help with spam and fraud at all. It just actually makes it really confusing for beginners because they've suddenly got 8 channels that they're in when they open up the game or whatever. And I've seen people get confused by the fact that you've got local, alliance, corporation, then you've also got like all these other channels opening up as well. So it's not a good idea just to add more channels. I am with the devs on this one. It's one of those things, it sounds like at first idea that, oh yeah, we could compartmentalize this, open up more channels, more people will use the channels for the right thing, so I can leave the channels I don't want. It doesn't work like that in practice. People are people. Some humans do it accidentally. They just don't realize that there are multiple channels for these things. Some of them do it maliciously because, screw it, I don't care that this is meant for help. If I can sell something in help, then it's beneficial for me. I've made profit off my abuse of the help chat. And that would still happen even with a trade chat. So it's one of those things that when it comes down to it, adding more channels I don't think really helps. I think if you're concerned that help channel is getting spammed up, start issuing reports. Tap on the name, hit report, give a reason, and they do genuinely do stuff about it. I've seen it happen. So yeah, those are my thoughts at least on that one. I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that one. I'm just speaking from experience where in other games I've seen those channels just collapse under anyway. You create multiple channels that still just get used in a generic way. So yeah, I don't know. That's my personal thoughts and opinions. I'm sure you guys have your own thoughts and opinions as well. I would love to hear them in the comment section down below. If you do put a comment down there, remember, one comment from my YouTube every week is chosen to win a month of Combo Omega. So do keep your, phone handy or whatever and look for replies in case I message and say, hey, congratulations, you're a winner. Also, again, 2 people are chosen from the Catskull Discord, so join that, get involved in the conversation. I will pick 2 random posts from the Eve Echoes channels every week. 2 of those people win a month of Combo Omega. Anyway, folks, would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, happy sailing, and see you in New Eden!